Welcome back to A Chef's Guide to Chicago. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button and be sure to share with all your friends. I have something really cool I want to show you today because we're right on the cusp. Well, actually, we have passed the cusp of September 21st, the first day of fall. And I want to show you how to make a really cool salad that not only is unique, but it also offers that closure of summer and kind of transitions right into fall. And I think that this is the perfect one. So come on, let me show you what I'm going to do. It's called a fennel mint salad, and I am pairing it with Thompson Raisins, fresh walnuts from the market, and I'm going to use a white wine vinaigrette for two reasons, and I'll explain that in a second, and also canola oil. So let me get back to the white wine vinaigrette. The reason why I want to use that is because it's a neutral vinegar, and it still promotes a little bit of a fruity undertone, and it really allows the fennel to shine without taking away from the anise flavor that the fennel is part of in the family of vegetables. So one really unique way to capture umami is taking this spearmint. This is the type of mint that I'm using, spearmint from the local garden. You'll find that spearmint pairs well with the fennel, and the crunch of the raisins and the subtle sweetness of the Thompson raisins, specifically Thompson raisins, make this salad just pop. And if you've never had this before, I can't encourage you enough to try it because this is the time of year when all this is in season. I went to my local Italian market this morning in my neighborhood in Lincoln Park, and I picked all this up for fairly cheap, under $10 actually. So what I'd like to show you is how I put it together. So come on. Reserve 2 fronds of the fennel. A lot of people think this is dill, but let me explain to you, it's not. There's no other way. Dill is dill, and this is fennel fronds. These are actually pretty useful. They have a lot of really interesting undertones. They're great for garnishes, but we're actually gonna slice these the same width that we're gonna slice the fennel on the mandolin, and this is actually gonna be part of the salad as well. So let me show you how we do this. All right, so I cut the bottom base of the fennel bulb off, and as you know in other videos, what I like to do with a lot of vegetables is give it feet so that it's sturdy, right? So that when you put this against the mandolin, especially to start, you have a nice flush surface so it's not uneven, because a lot of what you want to achieve when doing this is precision and consistency, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of hold this tight together in my hands and just go back and forth. This is a very thin setting on the mandolin. Make sure your foot, your base of the mandolin is all the way out, and give it a few tests, but essentially you just want to go up and down and get these really thin shaves. It's okay if you have to adjust it to kind of achieve what you need, but essentially this is it, okay? It's a little there, perfect. So having your mandolin consistent the whole time, it doesn't matter, how many you're gonna cut. Each one's gonna be the same because it's passing through that thickness. So all you wanna do is throw your fennel right in the bowl here. And this will be the base for our salad. And look, you can really just see just the beautiful fennel that's shaved. And if you've never had just shaved fennel, I can't encourage it enough around this time of the year. It's super fresh. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna add the fennel fronds. We're gonna do the same thing. So I'll choose a thick frond. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna take a few of these pieces just right off into there. We're gonna use some of these nice undertones for the salad. Nice little garnish as well. Okay, just not a lot, just a few. And then what I'm gonna do is, these are the fronds, so I'm gonna go ahead and with the same thickness, just pass this right through. In fact, to make it easier, I'm just gonna cut this off. And I'll just go all the way through. And then you have these beautiful little fronds that you can add to your salad. I like to use a knife and use it as a tool to kind of pick up any ingredients on the board here and throw it right in your bowl. Make it nice and easy for yourself. There you go. And in what, 1 or 2 foul swoops, you have all that beautiful fronds ready for your salad. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our mint. This is gonna be a really great part to the salad. Once again, just a beautiful undertone to complement. And also not something that, I don't know, I would argue that's normal, right? If you've never had a fennel mint salad, once again, I really encourage you to try it. You might be surprised at the flavor pairings and how they come together. So what I'm gonna do is, if you've ever chiffonaded basil, I'm gonna kind of treat it like that in technique. Let me show you how I like to do this. So I'm gonna pick the leaves off the stem. And I'm gonna find 1 or 2 really big leaves. And those are gonna be the base for how I cut this mint. So here, let me show you what I like to do. So I'm gonna take 1 or 2 of these big leaves. I'm gonna lay it out just like this. Actually, that's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna lay it out face down on the board, okay? And I'm gonna grab all the other little mint and kind of just pile it together here, just like this. And I'm gonna put it right inside of that one big leaf. And kind of keep the tips together so that you know when you cut it, it's consistent. So all the tips facing forward like that, okay? And you're gonna throw it right in there, and then you're gonna roll it up like that. Be gentle. You don't need to like be barbaric with a gentle herb, right? And now you have this real consistent, uniform, organized mint. I think organized is a really key word here. To where we can go ahead, just take our beautiful knife here and just go ahead and give it some nice, really great cuts. We'll just go all the way down. There we go. Once again, just take your knife, work that into the bowl there. Beautiful. And then what else I like to do with this salad is give it a little bit of a crunch. You'll notice that the fennel has a little bit of an al dente bite to it, which is great. I also like the undertone of a harder walnut or a nut. In this case, we're using a walnut. Now these are just whole walnuts. They're not anything special. They're not roasted, they're not salted, they're nothing. And what I like that to be just natural umami. If you've watched a lot of my videos and you know my style, I really like to just hone in and focus on the natural ingredients that Chicago and all the cultures and the markets have to offer. So in this case, even just something simple as a walnut, when paired with all the things that I'm showing you, really just give it a whole new avenue of approach and appreciation maybe. So instead of whole, I'm just gonna half these walnuts just like this, nothing fancy or crazy, right? We could do a million things with these, but we're not. We're just gonna throw them right in there, just a few. And then what I'm gonna do, that should be enough. And then we're gonna add these raisins. These Thompson raisins are really interesting. If you've never had Thompson raisins, try them on your own, just as is. They have a really unique, sweet undertone to them. And the reason why I chose these is because with the mint, the fennel, the walnuts, I could use like a sun-made raisin and it just wouldn't be the same. And if you use that versus this, you may notice the difference, okay? So I encourage you to try these, source these at your local Italian market. I have about 2 teaspoons there. So now in the bowl, I have my raisins, my mint, my walnuts, my shaved fennel, my shaved fronds. Let me just give it a little bit of salt here. The reason I want to salt, and just a little bit, okay, is when you salt any vegetable, you're immediately triggering a chemical process where water starts to leach out of the cells, okay? So I don't want to over salt this. In fact, all I want to do is just give this a little bit of a hit, just like that. And then I'm going to use a nice grinder, so I have fresh black pepper here. And then I'm going to show you how to make the vinaigrette. The vinaigrette's real easy. As I stated, we're using white wine vinegar. But let me show you another really cool tip and trick if you're trying to make a vinaigrette on your own and you don't have someone to help you like pour the oil in. I have a nice, heavy, solid bowl here. But even then, I still want to secure it with a towel. So check this out. Okay, so a quick tip on how to make a vinaigrette on your own if you don't have someone to help you. You know, sometimes you can do it with a whisk, and you find the bowl just kind of like flops around. So what I'm going to show you is how to create a quick well with a towel. So you'll do something like this, and you'll put one end of over the other, kind of create a small ribbon right there, just a little bit of a one. You can put your bowl right in there, and then all of a sudden you do not have as much, you know, insecurity in the bowl. So on all the salads or vinaigrettes that I make, one baseline rule in my kitchen is 2 to 1. That's a really solid ratio. And what I mean by that is 2 parts vinegar to 1 part oil. Okay, so in this case, we have the white wine vinegar and then the canola oil. Once again, this is a neutral vinegar, a little fruity, and this is a neutral oil. So we're on the really just what we're doing by preparing these specific combination of vinegar and oil is we're allowing the ingredients in the bowl to shine versus just the vinaigrette. Okay, so I'm just gonna eye it out. That's about enough. That's about 2 tablespoons right there. Now we do need to salt our vinaigrette, so salt and pepper actually. So not just salt, salt and pepper. So just a little bit of salt and just a little bit of pepper, fresh cracked pepper. I'm gonna grab my whisk right here, and I'm gonna mix all this in. You see how the bowl is really just secure now? So now I can do this, and I got my squeeze bottle here, and I'm just gonna drop this in. This squeeze bottle is a really handy tool because you'll notice I can control the drops, and that'll really help me as I'm whisking to blend and emulsify the vinaigrette, and then I don't really have to work that hard. And then this way I also know I'll have a really solid vinaigrette. Now remember, 2 to 1, so I want about a tablespoon, and that's about it right there. And all I'm gonna do is just dress the salad here. Yeah, that's good. That's looking really good. Go ahead and take a shot at that. Nice. So then how I'll dress this is I'll take my vinaigrette that I just made. I'll take a little bit of a spoon and just around the bowl like that. Not even necessarily on it. Nice, that should be good. You can always add and not take away. So let's give this a quick toss. All of a sudden you're gonna see all these beautiful colors, this beautiful arrangement of ingredients that captures the end of summer and the beginning of fall. Now this salad can be served as a salad, an accompaniment to something, or just a fun snack during the end of summer, beginning of fall, or really any time of year if you can get those ingredients. That should be good. Now I'm pretty particular about how I like to plate or build a salad. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so with my clean hands, I am going to start to build the salad. Now instead of just grabbing my tongs or whatever and throwing it on there, what I like to do as a chef, right, is build the salad. And what I mean by that is you want to go for some height and some width and some depth, and you want to make sure that what you're building has a bit of, you know, catching the eye as well. So you can see how I'm purposefully placing the salad right here. So it's not just salad on a plate. Rather, you know, you can see what I'm doing is I'm stacking, and I'm not like pressing it down or just like throwing it on there. What I want to do is make sure that it sits each one next nicely on top of the other. And you see, if it's okay to fall like that, that natural way that it just kind of landed, that's exactly what I'm aiming for. And then you can see too, what I really achieved is each of the components of the salad are displayed. So now you have this beautiful fennel mint raisin salad that you can enjoy. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and encourage you to get out into the local markets of Chicago and source these ingredients and put together a fennel mint raisin salad for yourself, for your family, friends, guests. Thanks for tuning in on Chef's Guide to Chicago. We'll see you next time, and happy cooking.